Hey guys, this is Kevin for Pixavert.com. In this video, we are going to create this cool looking halftone pattern in Gimp. So what we'll do first of all is to create a new document. It's going to be 1280 by 720. I'm just going to draw a couple of rulers. So I'm going to show rulers and draw a couple of guides. You don't have to do this. I just find it easier to work like this. And I've just placed the guides close to the center. We're going to go to the gradient panel and bring up the gradient tool. What I want to do is to choose foreground to background RGB as my gradient. Then I'm going to choose a couple of colors for my foreground and background. The background is going to have a hue saturation value of 0 for the hue, 0 for the saturation, and 50 for the value. That gives us a mid-gray color. And for the background, we're going to have a hue of 0, saturation 0, and value of 100. That gives us white. We'll choose the blend tool, which is G, shortcut key of G, and just draw a gradient from the center close to the edge. Now the tool options for the gradient have to be normal for the blend mode. The shape has to be radial, and that produces this kind of circular gradient. We're going to hit enter on that. Next, I'm going to actually create a background, which is going to be a white layer. So I'm going to create a new document layer, and we'll make it white, and we'll put that at the back just to act as a backdrop. Next, we'll go to the layer with the gradient on it, and we'll choose Tools, Gegl Operation. Now this is a bunch of filters, some of which are stable, some of which are likely to cause problems. I've worked with the Newsprint filter before, and it's kind of okay. You definitely want to save your work before using these filters, because otherwise they can produce problems. We're going to choose a color model of black on white, a pattern of circle. You could try other patterns, diamond, Euclidean dot. For this one, we'll try diamond and see how that goes. The period is going to be, I think, we'll choose the period of 16, and we'll keep everything else at default and hit OK. Next, I'm just going to hide the rulers, and we'll bring out the unified transform tool, which is Shift plus T. Next, I'm just going to scroll out, just going to zoom out. You can use this button here to choose a zoom level of 33.3, and then we're going to go to the handles. The top right and top left handles have got little squares inside the big square. We're just going to use these squares to move everything in, and then I'm going to move the lower ones out by quite a lot. I'm just going to click and drag this down so that it's more or less centered. Just bring this in a bit more. So this gives us a sort of perspective effect. If I just zoom in a little bit, you can see we're getting that smooth perspective to the design. And just increase the size of the base a bit more. Bring this in a little bit. And I'm trying to keep it more or less centered. I'm trying to keep the main part of the design centered. I'm going to hit transform. And what we now need to do is to apply gradient to the design. So I'm going to actually merge these two layers again. So we'll choose merge down. And what we'll now do is to choose a blue color as the foreground color. So we'll go with something like this. Choose whatever color you want as your foreground. The background is white. We're going to choose colors, map, gradient map, and that changes the color of the design. So we can now get rid of the guides. And that is our final design. So that's basically how you do it. It's a pretty interesting filter. Like I say, be careful with the other filters in the Gegl operations. They're not mature, they're not stable, and hopefully at some point we'll see this filter perhaps appearing with the distorts There is an older filter that you can use if you're using older versions of Gimp, but it works in a slightly different way. That's going to be it for this one. I hope you found some of that useful. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. We'll see you later.